Live from KTUL, you're watching Good Morning Oklahoma at 5.
Breaking overnight, the search on for a suspect who shot a woman in the head outside a North Tulsa apartment complex. Live with the latest from police.
I didn't want to see that. Like, I already seen enough.
A day of amusement turns into terror at the state fair after a ride malfunctions, killing one, injuring several others. The latest on the investigation into what happened.
For him to make a promise to protect the LGBT people and to go back on his word, it's horrifying.
The transgender community reacts to news from the president banning them from serving our country. The latest on the outrage continuing this morning.
And we have the beginning of our big pattern change we've been talking about all week long in Green Country this morning in the form of a few showers. We haven't seen any lightning so far, but lightning is possible. Heavy rain over Bartlesville at the moment, as well as moving into the Tulsa Metro. We'll take a closer look at HD Max 8000 and talk about our additional rain chances throughout the next 48 hours in just a few minutes.
Right now, Tulsa police investigating a shooting on the city's north side.
Happened at the Town Square Apartments near North Peoria and Apache. Channel 8's Lauren Partain live at the Gilcrease Police Division with details. Lauren.
A woman in her early 20s is now in the hospital after someone shot her in the head. Now officers say they were a block away from the Town Square Apartments when they heard 7 gunshots fired inside the complex. They immediately went to check it out and found a woman unconscious in a walkway between 2 apartment buildings. Police say the scene was very chaotic and they had to call for additional officers.
A very large and aggressive crowd when we first arrived. We were able to secure the scene, gather some witnesses, and the black female that was shot one time in the head has been transported to a local hospital.
That woman is in critical condition. Police are still looking for the shooter. Now, officers say detectives are questioning witnesses, but it hasn't been easy finding out what happened. Coming up in 30 minutes, find out why. Live in North Tulsa, Lauren Partain, Tulsa's Channel 8.
Thank you, Lauren. Also breaking this morning, police are searching for 3 men who robbed 2 men at gunpoint. Happened at the Shoreline Apartments near 21st and 169 about 2:30 this morning. Victims went to the Tower Crossing Apartments later at 41st and 169 to call for help. Police say the suspects hit both of the men over the head with a gun while another one threatened them with a knife. They say both men will be okay. Developing now, a terrible accident at one of the country's largest state fairs leaves people asking a lot of questions today.
Yeah, one person is dead, others injured after ride malfunctions. John Lawrence has got the latest now from the scene.
Hours after the 2017 Ohio State Fair started, it suffered the worst disaster in its history.
It's kind of hard to imagine that you have family that goes to a state fair and those calls come that there was a terrible accident, a terrible tragedy, and somebody you love was involved.
A ride at the fair called the Fireball malfunctioned, and an entire row of seats snapped off while it was in motion.
I heard a girl scream help, and I look over and I seen something fly out. And then I seen it slap to the ground.
The whole cart broke off, about 4 of them in it.
1 man was killed, 7 others were injured. 3 of those who survived are in critical condition.
They're all in an intensive care unit, being closely monitored and receiving active interventions with physicians at the bedside.
Ohio Governor John Kasich ordered all the rides to be shut down as additional safety inspections will be performed on them. No word yet on what caused the malfunction.
We will get to the bottom of this. We will investigate it. There will be complete transparency.
Inspectors say the Fireball was checked earlier in the day and there were no red flags.
My grandchildren ride this equipment, so our guys do not rush through this stuff. We look at it, we take care of it, and we pretend it's our own.
The 12-day fair will be open for its scheduled run. I'm John Lawrence reporting.
Well, just a few hours after the incident, a similar type of ride was shut down. This one in Orange County, California. No indication of a problem with the G-Force ride, but after the Ohio incident, fair officials decided to shut that ride down.
New this morning, we now know the name of a man killed in a motorcycle accident outside of Broken Arrow. Troopers say Nathan Likens was pronounced dead at the scene. They say he was northbound on the Creek Turnpike near 51st Street when he hit a fence and a tree. He was not wearing a helmet. Troopers are still investigating whether he was speeding when that accident happened.
Tulsa police are still working this morning to identify a man found dead under the 21st Street Bridge near Riverside. A couple of young people found his body yesterday afternoon. Police say there were not any signs of trauma. Think heat may have had something to do with the man's death. They believe he was in his 40s and homeless.
Happening tonight, a chance for the South Tulsa and Bixby communities to help the families of those killed this month in the crash near Purcell. The McDonald's at 121st and Memorial is hosting a fundraiser for the Van Horn, Kitterman, and Edwards families. The store will donate 20% of its sales from 5 to 9 tonight to help support those families. Erin Van Horn, her son Zach, along with Beck Kitterman and his sister Lizzie Edwards, died from injuries related to that crash. They were all laid to rest this week.
It's a very difficult decision. It's not a simple one, but the president feels that it's the best one for the military.
A major reversal to his U.S. military policy that's still being felt this morning. 69 years of the day, President Harry Truman segregated the military. President Trump making his own changes by banning transgender individuals from serving in the military. Yesterday, Trump ignored questions about his tweets that continue to make headlines this morning. And yesterday's surprise announcement from the president shocked the nation, but it wasn't much of a surprise to the trans community here in Tulsa.
Last night, a group gathered at the Equality Center downtown showing their opposition to this latest initiative and instead offered support for each other. The president tweeted that the tremendous costs and disruption caused by transgender troops would be the reason for their removal. The transgender community couldn't disagree more with those points.
To be told that I'm not worthy of standing for my own values because of my gender status is well, it's insulting.
It is still unclear if or how the tweet could be put into action. The transgender community here is hoping it won't.
Now, from the Oklahoma Ford Storm Center, your first warning forecast.
Look at Thursday morning. Our much anticipated cold front that's going to bring a lot of relief here to Green Country is now sitting across portions of Kansas down into western Oklahoma, across the Texas Panhandle. We still have a lot of moisture and a lot of warm air in place, and that's what's helping fuel some of these showers we have across the northern half of Green Country this morning, mainly north of I-44. They're really going to struggle to make it south of I-44 and especially south of I-40, where we have the heaviest rain right now, about to move into downtown Tulsa and on the western half of town and further up towards the north, up towards 75. That's where we also have some heavier showers this morning across portions of Osage County, across Bartlesville, even into Coffeyville, Kansas, and quite a bit of rain moving into southwestern Missouri. That's where a majority of the rainfall will be this morning, but all along the I-44 corridor. This is 7:30 when a lot of people are heading off to work this morning. Definitely a chance of a few scattered showers, maybe even a rumble of thunder or two. Now, any of this morning activity should diminish around 10 or 11 o'clock, giving us a dry period in the middle part of the day. The clouds will try to clear. Not sure how successful they're going to be. Partly cloudy skies still this afternoon before we see redevelopment of showers and storms later in the afternoon and evening. Some of those could be strong to isolated severe. We have one more hot day to get through here in Green Country. That includes areas Tulsa and further down to the south, especially towards McAllister and the OKC Metro. 110 is what it could feel like in McAllister today. 83 by 8 o'clock, 96 this afternoon. So already starting to get a little bit cooler for some areas. Again, McAllister is still going to be very warm this afternoon, close to the triple digits, but rain chances are on the way for everyone. Moving through Green Country still on Friday morning, and then the weekend just looks really nice here in the eastern half of the state. Temperatures right around 90. 508. Right now you are looking at downtown Tulsa, where 412 and 44 as well as the BA Expressway all look great.
All right, we told you yesterday about the shocking results of a brain study on pro football players. Coming up, reaction from the NFL and how they're working to help their athletes.
Could a popular ABC reality show be adding a little spice to the competition? Well, we're hearing about the outgoing press secretary's next venture next.
.511, we already know that Sean Spicer showed plenty of fancy footwork answering questions as White House press secretary.
Yeah, and now he may be taking that footwork to the dance floor. Politico is reporting that ABC officials have expressed interest in having Spicer on the next season of Dancing with the Stars.
Interesting.
I know. I just don't see it happening. I don't know why. A spokesperson for the show declined to talk about the possibility, saying the season 25 cast will be announced on September 18th. But, of course, the internet is buzzing about the possibility. Actor Zach Braff even tweeted, Can't wait to see Sean Spicer waltz on Dancing with the Stars. Do you see him doing that?
You know, in a way I can, because I think he had to be so defensive as the press secretary for President Trump. And I think we always saw him in a negative light. I think perhaps this is his chance to show the world that, hey, I'm a nice guy.
Oh, you got a good point. I see
We'll
that.
have to see.
Yeah, September 18th. 5:12, just when you thought airport screenings couldn't take any longer.
Yeah, coming up, more changes coming from the TSA this morning. What it'll mean for you the next time you fly. Plus, can you hear me now? Bet you'll say yes. We'll tell you how Apple is helping those with hearing loss to use their Apple devices without a hassle.
But first, this morning's Tech Bites from ABC News. Welcome back. Good morning, Oklahoma. 82 degrees at 5:14. Making headlines this morning, changes from the TSA that'll affect frequent flyers. They say items larger than a cell phone will now have to be put in a separate bin during screenings. So, in addition to laptops, items like Kindles and iPods and iPads are now required to be screened separately. Measures already active at 10 airports, being expanded to all U.S. airports during the weeks and months ahead. TSA says the change affects passengers going through standard lanes, but does not apply to those enrolled in the TSA PreCheck using TSA PreCheck lanes.
National Football League responding to a troubling new study involving the donated brain tissue of deceased football players. Researchers found evidence of CTE, which is a degenerative brain disease, in 110 of 111 former NFLers in the study. It caught the attention of both the league and its players, and yesterday the NFL released a statement saying they will benefit from the publication and will work to improve the efforts of athletes.
I think they're very worried about it, and from athletes that I've represented, they're very worried about it because, like I said, a lot of them have been playing for years. The evidence is just becoming so overwhelming. I think it's devastating.
In total, researchers found CTE in 87% of 202 former football players with an average of 15 years in the game, including high school, college, semi-pro, and NFL.
So Chipotle's way to win back customers, queso. Hey, that wins crowds.
All the time.
All the time. An exec at the burrito chain told investors that Chipotle will introduce queso at 350 of its restaurants starting next month. If successful, it may take the queso national. The move comes as the chain continues to struggle with food safety issues. Hundreds of customers nationwide got sick 2 years ago by a series of E. coli and norovirus outbreaks, and a Virginia location was temporarily shut down earlier this month after another outbreak. The company says an employee there was sick. Well, good thing queso really isn't a food anyway, so so we'll be okay.
But you're right, though, queso goes well with anything. I love tamales. There's a restaurant in Manford that they put queso on top of tamales.
I've got to go to this Manford restaurant.
Dang, by artists, by the way. It's pretty good. Not getting paid by them.
Right, exactly.
There's a new hearing implant that's coming out that will let users take calls and stream music wirelessly from Apple devices. Apple partnered with medical device company Cochlear Limited to make the first ever cochlear implant sound processor. FDA approved the device in June. Cochlear implants are for people with severe hearing loss and are used when hearing aids don't. New implant expected to launch in the U.S. in September.
A new report on diabetes is revealing who's most likely to get the disease. Researchers from Gallup and Giant ShareCare found that seniors, blacks, and those with low income are most likely affected, but it's also people living in the South, as well as those who are divorced, separated, or widowed, who appear to be at higher risk. Results were found through medical surveys. Researchers hope it can serve as a change for Americans at risk.
You just need to love every day because you never know what's going to happen tomorrow.
That message is something that we all can take with us. An Oregon woman battling terminal cancer granted the wish of a lifetime thanks to some help from the community. A nonprofit called A Wish Upon a Wedding heard her story and stepped in to help. They provided everything the woman and her fiance needed for their big day, from the dress to the flowers, the reception. Blake says her days are limited and never thought she'd have a wedding. She says the moments of big and small are filled with love, and that's something that cancer can never touch.
Mr. and Mrs.
Very
Todd.
sweet.
Yeah.
5:18, and we have some changes to talk about. Finally, we have something different to say.
After about a week or more or so here in Green Country talking about that sweltering heat, we only have to talk about the heat for one more day, and that's today. But we're already starting to see some changes moving across Green Country in the form of some showers. Right now, sitting right across the Tulsa Metro, stretching over 412 into Sand Springs. That's where we have the heaviest shower at the moment across the Metro. Just some light activity across the southern half towards Broken Arrow and Bixby. Moving a little bit further up to the north, though, you can see a very large swath of moderate to even pockets of heavy showers moving across Bartlesville, just south of Pawhuska, even south of Coffeyville, Kansas. Now giving you a wider view, or a closer view into Bartlesville, you can see a little bit more detail with that rain. Now a wider view of what we're seeing north of Highway 412. You can see quite a bit of activity across the area this morning. South of 412, not so much. A lot of these showers are really going to struggle to make it past the 44 corridor, and it's going to be a tough task to get them south of I-40 this morning, but additional chances are on the way for the next 48 hours. Overall, this system is not going to be a big rainfall producer, about 1/4 of an inch or less for most everybody. There is a small chance that we could see some isolated higher amounts of about 1/2 inch, even up to an inch of rainfall. That would be in some of our heavier thunderstorms that move through tonight. We're not expecting anything by the way of severe weather, but we could see some stronger storms that produce some really gusty winds as they start to collapse. 106, our heat index. It's going to be the last day that we see in the triple digits for at least a week here in Green Country. Some really nice relief coming our way. And hey, what's that for Monday? 88. That's what our heat index is going to be. Big change from what we've seen for the past 2 weeks. 77 in Pawhuska, 78 in Muskogee, still 83 in Tulsa. It's one of our warmest mornings that we've seen in quite some time here in Green Country. 20% chance of rain through about the 10 or 11 o'clock hour. A dry period through the middle part of the day. The clouds, they're going to be tough to clear out in the middle part of the day and then around the lunchtime hour. And then we see showers and storms redevelop towards this afternoon as the cold front gets closer and closer to northeastern Oklahoma. Now, areas like Bartlesville and Ponca City will see a little bit of relief today from the heat. 95 Bartlesville, 94 in Ponca City, some lower 90s across the northern half. The southern half, though, still sweltering. 99 in Okmulgee, 99 in McAllister. You likely won't see the real relief until we get to probably Saturday. This cold front's going to be pretty slow moving. A few showers and storms through the overnight hours. 76 in Tulsa tomorrow morning. Quite a few clouds as we start off the day. A few of those showers and storms will linger throughout the afternoon hours, but it will start to clear dramatically by the time we get to the evening, and staying dry through the weekend as we enjoy those really nice temperatures close to 90 with a nice northeasterly breeze. 521. Right now we're looking at downtown Tulsa. 412, as well as all of the roads across the metro are in great shape this morning. No accidents, stalls, or delays at the moment.
All right, still to come in the world of sports, one of tennis's biggest superstars making a stunning announcement while you will not see him playing anytime this year.
The U.S. strikes gold. Highlights from this year's Gold Cup when we come back. Welcome back. 525, 82 degrees in Tulsa. Molly's talking about a little rain in our viewing area here in a couple minutes. Oh, the U.S. men's national team still celebrating this morning after winning their 6th Gold Cup title last night. The Americans securing the trophy on Jordan Morey's 88th minute goal, securing a 2-1 win over Jamaica. The win returns the USA to the title podium as champ for the first time since 2013, also taking them one step toward qualifying for the 2021 FIFA Confederations Cup. If they win the 2019 Gold Cup, the Americans would secure automatic entry.
And former #1 tennis star Novak Djokovic announced that he will not play again for the rest of the year because of an elbow injury, which means he will miss the U.S. Open next month. Djokovic retired hurt from Wimbledon during the quarterfinals because of an ongoing elbow injury and said it will be a couple of months at least before he's back practicing. It's the first time since 2004 the 30-year-old has skipped a Grand Slam after a run of 51 in a row. All right, still to come following 2 breaking news stories this morning.
Police still searching for a suspect who opened fire at a woman at a North Tulsa apartment complex. Channel 8's Lauren Partain live with the latest information from police. And in East Tulsa, several armed robbers on the run this morning after hitting a victim with a gun and taking all he had. The latest on the search to find them.
And really no surprise, especially if you've been listening to Molly for the last 4 or 5 days. Going to be another hot one. Temperatures could reach 100 in some areas, but she also says relief is on the way. That's coming up in her full forecast. It's 527. Breaking news this morning. A woman recovering right now in the hospital after being shot in the head. We're live with an update from police on the search for the person responsible.
Terrifying moments at the Ohio State Fair. A ride malfunctions, sending riders into the air, killing one person. What inspectors are saying about the safety of their rides.
Plus, a major announcement for PSO customers. Get ready to save some money. The new plan the company has that could cut your electric bills drastically.
And a lot of people are enjoying the showers that are greeting them out the door this morning, especially north of I-44. That's where a lot of the activity has been centered so far this morning, and it's likely where it's going to stay. We've seen a few showers across the metro, but we have a large swath of rain that's still drifting to the south. We'll take a closer look at HD Max 8000 in about 5 minutes. But first, right now, 5:30, a check of your traffic. The Creek Turnpike, as well as the BA Expressway 169, 64 northbound and southbound, all are in great shape for your Thursday morning drive.
Well, right now, police are questioning people at a North Tulsa apartment complex after a shooting put one woman in the hospital.
Yeah, those apartments are near North Peoria and Apache. Channel 8's Lauren Partain is live this morning. She's at the Gilcrease Police Division to tell us why they're having problems finding out exactly what happened. Lauren?
Police are still trying to get information from witnesses after they found that woman shot one time in the head. Now, officers say they were a block away from the town square apartments when they heard 7 gunshots fired inside the complex. They immediately went to check it out and found a woman unconscious in a walkway between 2 apartment buildings. Police say it was very chaotic and they had to call for additional officers. Detectives are questioning witnesses, but it hasn't been easy finding out what happened.
We're getting kind of a wide variety of stories on what occurred, so we're trying to sort through that stuff right now. It's still real early in the investigation on this.
Now, officers say that woman was in her early 20s. Right now, she's in the hospital in critical condition. Police are still looking for the shooter. Live in North Tulsa, Lauren Partain, Tulsa's Channel 8.
All right, thank you, Lauren. Also breaking this morning, police are searching for the 3 men who robbed 2 men at gunpoint. It happened at the Shoreline Apartments near 21st and Highway 169 about 2:30 this morning. The victims then went to the Tower Crossing Apartments near 41st and 169 to call for help. Police say the suspects hit both of the men over the head with a gun, while another one threatened them with a knife. They say both men will be okay.
So many questions still remain this morning after a deadly amusement park ride accident at a fair in Ohio.
Yeah, video of the exact moment is been released. We want to warn you, the video is graphic. It was captured from a bystander. And you see the fireball, it's operating normally. When it crashes into something right there, part of the ride, you see it there at the bottom, flies off. We're stopping the video there, but you can see the corner where that seat is now on the ground. Fairground investigators say that the ride passed several inspections before going into operation today.
We do not rush inspections. Our inspections take place, and as amusement rides come in, they're checked several times why they're being put up, and each and every day. We will begin an investigation on this to determine what the failure was, if any, and how this accident occurred.
Governor John Kasich has ordered that all the rides be shut down until additional safety inspections are finished.
Now at 5:30. Police are asking for help finding a father accused of kidnapping his daughter. Investigators say Dante Davis took the baby from her mother's apartment in Tulsa without permission yesterday, and later a man dropped her off at a police station in Oklahoma City. Police there say the little girl was unharmed. They're not sure if it was Davis who left her there.
A Muskogee man in jail this morning accused of having child pornography and trying to sell drugs. Police arrested Corey Volts after serving a search warrant at his home last week. Inside, they found plenty of signs of trouble, lots of cash, guns, drug paraphernalia, marijuana. Officers also found child porn on Volts' cell phone. They're looking through other electronic devices in the house and say the investigation could lead to other arrests.
16 counties will now get help from the federal government after severe weather from May. They include Cherokee, Muskogee, LaFleur, Okmulgee, and Pittsburgh counties in our area. The storms caused extensive flooding, outages, and dangerous travel conditions. The disaster aid approval means federal funding is available to help cities, counties, rural electric co-ops, and the state with infrastructure repairs. Oklahoma's economy built on oil. What if we ran out? New this morning, several state lawmakers say it's time to start preparing for that possibility. 4 lawmakers say they'll do an interim study to look at the ways the state can start saving now, just in case. A couple of ideas: diverting money from the cash flow reserve to create a vision fund, and creating a savings fund with 20% of the state's gross production tax. Other oil-producing states like Alaska and North Dakota have already set up similar funds, but the Oklahoma Oil and Gas Association says lawmakers don't need to worry. Because of advancements in horizontal drilling, they say Oklahoma is likely to keep pumping oil for another 4 centuries.
Here's something that might help: a new wind energy project by PSO. It says the Wind Catcher Energy Connection project will include the largest wind energy facility in the country, delivering high-quality, low-priced energy to customers. The company says it'll also boost the state's economy, create jobs, and provide new tax revenues. Customers could get 40% of their energy from wind, saving more than $2 billion over the life of the project. If the Corporation Commission approves the plans, the project could be completed in 3 years.
Now, from the Oklahoma Ford Storm Center, your first warning forecast.
Well, good Thursday morning. We've been waiting for this cold front all week long, now getting closer and closer to green country. Ahead of that cold front, we still have quite a bit of warm air streaming into Oklahoma, as well as a lot of moisture. It's helping fuel a few showers this morning. So far, we haven't seen any thunder or lightning, but that is possible with a few of these showers. We did have a pretty healthy shower moving over the downtown Tulsa area. Now it's starting to shrink as it moves further down to the south along 75. So far, just light activity across the metro, but if we look further up towards the north along 75 into Osage County, up into Bartlesville, we have seen some moderate to even pockets of heavier showers. Right now, though, the rain is starting to move out of Bartlesville. It looks like you're going to be clear behind that. A little bit of redevelopment is possible throughout the rest of the morning hours, especially along and north of I-44. These showers are really going to struggle to make it south of I-44 and especially south of I-40. Any morning activity should diminish around 10, 11 o'clock in the morning, giving us a dry period in the middle part of the day. And then we'll see redevelopment this afternoon. You can see it starting out to the west as that cold front continues to sink closer and closer to green country, bringing us some much needed relief from the heat. But we still have one more hot day to get through for most of us. Along and south of areas, Highway 412, that's where we're going to be sweltering for one more day, especially down towards McAllister, where that heat index is going to climb close to 110. 83 in Tulsa, still feels like 89 outside. As you plan out your day, we're going to be 96, so not quite the triple digits we saw yesterday. A few areas down south are still going to be close to the triple digits, including McAllister as well as Salisaw and Stigler in the upper 90s, 95 in Bartlesville, upper 90s for the western half of green country, and 96 in Tulsa. As we go through the weekend, temperatures are going to fall close to that 90-degree mark with mornings in the 60s. 537. Right now we are looking at 75 between the Creek Turnpike and 44, where it's running very smoothly, a speed limit ride for all.
Well, is this another hint at a possible run for senator? Coming up, singer Kid Rock's latest move that shows he's closer to that possibility.
Wouldn't be a summer blockbuster without a sequel, right? The new plans for Wonder Woman's next movie when we come back.
If no one else will defend the world, then I must.
Wonder Woman still in theaters, but you know what? The sequel already has a release date. Welcome to 2017, right?
Mm-hmm.
Warner Brothers has announced Wonder Woman 2 will hit theaters December 13th of 2019. Gal Gadot is on board to wield the golden lasso once again, and The Hollywood Reporter says talks with Patty Jenkins to direct the sequel are ongoing.
All right, amid rumors of a run for the Senate, singer Kid Rock is making a big political move, launching a new nonprofit to get more people registered to vote. He hopes to raise money at his shows and through events that will encourage citizens to register. The singer has yet to file any formal paperwork, but has said a decision will be made in the next 6 weeks. He looks very presidential in that shot.
Right. Well, wouldn't be the first time a celebrity became a politician, right?
Not at all. Not at all. Hey, Forbes has ranked Tulsa #1 when it comes to helping entrepreneurs.
Now, a local organization proving that status one more time, how it's helping aspiring restaurant owners get a leg up in their industry. Plus, crews breaking ground on a new mental health facility in Tulsa. Details on the state-of-the-art treatment center when we come back. 544 top stories this morning. Tulsa police investigating a shooting outside of a North Tulsa apartment complex happened at the Town Square Apartments. When witnesses reported several shots, police arrived and found a woman shot in the head. She was taken to the hospital in critical condition. Right now, no suspect information, and police are continuing to investigate.
Police are searching for the three men who robbed two men at gunpoint. It happened at the Shoreline Apartments near 21st and Highway 169. It's about 2:30 this morning. Police say the suspects hit both of the men over the head with a gun, while another one threatened them with a knife. The suspects ran to a nearby apartment to call for help.
And in Ohio today, no rides will be operating at the state fair. That's Governor John Kasich's order after a person is killed and several others injured when a ride malfunctioned. Took place on a ride called the Fireball on opening day of the fair. Organizers say the ride passed inspections just hours before the incident. It's a shot in the arm for Route 66, a major development project coming soon.
It's estimated to bring in about $23 million for our economy. The Mother Road Market promises to showcase local food at its finest. It'll feature 17 shops to house restaurant pop-ups. Food entrepreneurs will have the opportunity to use this small shop model to test their latest concepts without the financial investment of opening a full-scale restaurant.
It'll be a place where all people can come together and have the chance to connect with the personal story behind the entrepreneur serving them.
Joining the Mother Road Market as an anchor tenant will be the restaurant Andolini's. The target date for the opening is late spring of next year.
Well, you may see something different around Tulsa this weekend. A group of Buddhist monks from Tibet spending the weekend here. Unity Center of Tulsa is hosting the group until Monday. Yesterday, they made their way to Guthrie Green to spread a message of peace and compassion. They're holding services and ceremonies at the Unity Center throughout the weekend.
We believe there are many, many different paths to enlightenment, and we can learn from those different paths, and we certainly do learn so much from our Buddhist brothers and sisters.
And they have a busy schedule ahead of them. To find out what they're doing, go to our website, KTUL.com.
This morning, a new psychiatric hospital will begin construction in Tulsa. Parkside Hospital will break ground next to the current facility at 13th and Trenton later this morning. Organizers say it'll be a 114,000 square foot state-of-the-art treatment center. Hospital nearing completion of a $38 million fundraising campaign. Well, this morning, Oklahoma City fire officials want to remind everybody to be careful when it comes to outdoor burning and lit cigarettes. They say that any spark can turn into a grass fire in an instant with the hot and windy weather. This is the scene of a grass fire just south of downtown Oklahoma City. It quickly grew from 2 acres to 10 in just a matter of minutes.
There's a lot of debris. There's a lot of boards with nails and mattresses and furniture and just all kinds of junk and debris, if you will, out in the middle of this acreage, which is making it difficult for firefighters to get around with their brush bumper.
So far in July, officials say there have been well over 100 grass fires just in Oklahoma City alone. That one, the biggest.
Well, thankfully for some of us here in Oklahoma, getting a few showers. I saw Lauren with the umbrella out, which was shocking.
I know, she came and asked me this morning, she's like, am I gonna get wet? And I was like, yes, be happy about it. We're all very happy about it. We are gonna see rain over the next 24 to 48 hours. It's not gonna be a lot. We'll talk about those rainfall amounts in just a minute, but first I want to show you where it's actually raining this morning. Mostly north of the I-44 corridor, where we're seeing the heaviest rain right now stretching from the Skiatook, Lake Skiatook area all the way up into Nowata. The moderate showers are just now moving out of Bartlesville, leaving you with just a little bit of light activity. Now in the Tulsa Metro and just north of the Tulsa Metro up towards Owasso, about to see a few heavier showers start to move in. Lighter activity across the Metro, including Midtown, down into South Tulsa towards Jinx and Bixby. I'll combine a couple words there. As we look across the southern half of Green Country this morning, south of I-40, high and dry and very warm to start off our Thursday morning here in Green Country. That goes for all of us. A little bit warmer down to the south, though. The rainfall amounts through about Saturday, less than 1/4 inch. So this is not going to be a big rainfall producing system, but it will take what we can get. We haven't seen rain here in a while. It will come with the chance of some stronger storms producing gusty winds, heavy rain at times, as well as lightning. Not expecting really any intense severe weather, but a few stronger storms are possible. This is our last day in the triple-digit feels-like temperatures for a couple of days. In fact, look at Monday. It's actually going to feel like the 80s outside, and we're in for an extended stretch of really incredible weather. Once once we get through today. 83 in Tulsa, still 79 in Tahlequah, 79 in McAllister. Hour by hour, we're not going to make it down to the 70s in Tulsa, just like what we saw yesterday. So it's going to be a very warm start to our morning. A few chances for showers and storms through about 11 o'clock. Most of us are just going to see showers, but rumbles of thunder and a little bit of lightning is at least possible. We'll see redevelopment of storms this afternoon as the cold front starts to get closer and closer to northeastern Oklahoma. Any morning activity should be out of our area by around 10 or 11 o'clock. The clouds will try to clear through the middle part of the day, but I think partly cloudy skies will stick around for most of the afternoon. 96 Tulsa still close to the triple digits further down south. The cold front's going to start to move in by the afternoon, sitting along the I-44 corridor by around 5 o'clock. That will continue to sink south throughout the overnight hours, bringing scattered showers and storms, at least a chance to most everybody. Now, I think the better chance of the overnight hours is going to be north once again. 76 Tulsa tomorrow morning, 76 in McAllister. Those showers and storms will slowly drift to the south throughout the day on Friday and continue, maybe even lingering into Saturday morning, but a lot of us by Saturday should stay dry. 90 for both Friday and Saturday morning in the 60s, even 80s on the way on our 8-day forecast. 5:50 right now, we are looking at the north side of the Tulsa Metro up towards Owasso, where some heavier showers are about to move in, but so far the roadways are looking just fine.
Coke Zero getting a makeover. What fans of the diet soda can expect from the newest version.
I think we were hopeful that it would work out that way, and when we found out that we were pregnant, it just made it that much more special.
And being born a champion, pretty easy if you have the right good luck charm, and these parents in Chicago certainly have it. The unique thing that's bringing them together. It's 5:51, it's 82 degrees. Good morning, Oklahoma. It's 5:54. It's 82 degrees. Rain moving through green country. More on Molly's forecast coming up. Well, Erin may appreciate this, and she's the big Coke fan. Coke Zero is getting a makeover, including a new name, a new recipe. Coca-Cola Zero Sugar goes on sale nationwide starting in August. The idea is the same. The target consumer may be the same, but the package and the recipe, they are different. According to Coke, the tweaked version of the soft drink tastes better than Coke Zero, but it's still sugar and calorie-free. Another change is the design more closely resembling Coca-Cola Classic.
Anything that tastes better than Coke Zero is probably a bonus. It's really not good.
Want to relax, enjoy a little libation after work today? Why not celebrate National Scotch Day? July 27th is dedicated to the famed aged whiskey. It comes in 5 categories: single malt, single grain, blended malt, blended grain, and just blended. Remember and enjoy the day responsibly.
I will not be celebrating. I know that's surprising to you, Keith. Take a look at this. A man in Oregon builds a waterfall more than 600 feet tall. Lego version of Multnomah Falls uses more than 80,000 bricks. The builder says it took him a year to get the bridge and everything around it just right. He's now looking for a place where he can show it publicly. It's amazing what they can do with Legos.
It really is. It's pretty amazing stuff.
A maternity unit, a busy place, and in Chicago lately it's been bustling because of one thing.
Yeah, staffers say the Cubs are here because of the Cubs. At the hospital closest to Wrigley Field, they say they're seeing a big boom 9 months after the Cubs won the World Series. The Hittinger family, they named their new baby Theo after Theo Epstein, who was the general manager, born exactly 9 months after the World Series victory.
A great leader and somebody to look up to, obviously, so that's what the Cubs represent for us.
I think that there's definitely a bit of luck that comes into the fact that they all got pregnant right around the World Series, but sometimes people get lucky with these things.
Yeah, after talking with the new parents, the mothers are the only ones that don't want to repeat of the championship.
They're done.
Maybe in a couple of years, but it's fresh on your mind.
Well, you know what? How long was it until the Cubs won the World Series?
It's 106 years or something like that.
So it might be that long again.
Right.
Won't be around to have to worry about it. Well, I noticed that your dress is, you're celebrating the rain because it's the same color as the radar.
Yellow's a happy color,
it
right?
It is. Well, it is today.
Where you're going with yellow.
I wasn't sure either. I was a little nervous there. But we do have rain on the radar this morning. We'll see that diminish around 10 or 11 o'clock. One more really sweltering, roasting day here in green country for most of us before we'll see some quote-unquote cooler weather for July. It's going to be nice.
Good to hear it.
All right. We'll be right back.